Sometimes ultra rare comics just aren't that popular, and sometimes really popular books aren't rare. But occasionally you have that explosive combination of popular and rare that exists almost exclusively in the Golden Age. And here we'll look at the 10 rarest books among the 30 most valuable Golden Age comics. Without further ado, number 10 is Wiz Comics number 1 that has fewer than 60 copies on Census. This, of course, is the first appearance of Captain Marvel, who was by far the most popular superhero in the 1940s, more popular than Superman, Batman, or Captain America. Another interesting fact, his look was modeled after actor Fred MacMurray, who starred in numerous films and was the father in My Three Sons. And yep, that cleft chin checks out. There's no number 9 because we have a tie at number 8. And they are early appearances of the Man of Steel himself, Superman. We're talking about Action Comics number 7 and number 13. We'll take a closer look at number 7. It's only the second time that Superman has appeared on a cover. We'll contrast that appearance with his appearance in Action Comics number 1, and you'll see the evolution of Superman right before your eyes. He takes off those slippers and puts on some real superhero books. Also note the Superman emblem. It looks a lot closer to what we think of as Superman today than in Action Comics number 1. Something also of note is look where Superman is standing in number 7. Hint, he's not standing, he's in the air. But don't confuse that with flying. At this point, Superman can just jump really high. And last, you see some words on Action Comics number 7 that are the first time they appear on a cover, and that's Superman. So yeah, Action Comics number 7 is a major book of historical significance. Let's move to number 7 on our list, and we're talking about More Fun Comics number 52, which is the first appearance of one of my favorite superheroes, and that's the Spectre. His first story was written by Superman co-creator Jerry Siegel, and the cover art was done by Bernard Bailey. In fact, in 2 issues later, Bernard Bailey would draw his masterpiece with a huge Spectre grabbing airplanes out of the air. There's also another super famous appearance of the Spectre on a cover in his All-Star Comics number 8. That's Spectre looking into the globe with a few other folks from Justice Society of America. This particular book is well known, All-Star Comics number 8, because it's the first appearance of Wonder Woman. Okay, let's take a quick intermission and look at the books that didn't make the top 10. In the middle of this list of 30 are some of the biggest books in the hobby. We're talking about Marvel Comics number 1 comes in at the 13th rarest. Detective Comics number 27 comes in at number 16, and Action Comics number 1 comes in at number 17. Notice that their census numbers are between 65 and 75. So even in the middle of the pack, these books are super hard to find. If we go at the very tail end, so these are number 26 through 30, we have Superman Comics number 1 with 167 copies. We've got Wonder Woman number 1 with 180 copies, Cap 1 with 183, All-Star 8, 191, and Batman 1 has 285 copies. Whoa! Wait, check that out for a second. So the 29th rarest book out of 30 has fewer than 200 copies, and Batman 1 is sitting there at almost 300. In fact, if you look at the 100 most valuable books in the Golden Age, Batman number 1 comes in at number 100. So it's the most prevalent of all the valuable books. And let's put that into perspective. So for every copy of Detective Comics number 27, the first appearance of Batman, there are 4 copies of Batman number 1. And if you move to a really rare Golden Age book, say Double Action Comics number 2, for every copy of that comic, there are approximately 30 copies of Batman number 1. But don't mistake Golden Age common for common. Let's compare Batman 1 to other well-known books from different ages. So for every copy of Batman 1, there are over 10 copies of Amazing Fantasy number 15, more than 50 copies of Hulk 181, and almost 100 copies of New Mutants 98. I love you, Deadpool, but you ain't rare. The point being here is even a relatively common book in the Golden Age is much rarer than most other books of any other age. Let me ask you all a favor. Can we hit as many likes for this video as there are copies of Batman number 1? So 285, y'all, hit that like button. All right, let's slip on back to the top 10. There's no number 6 because we have a tie at number 5. Once again, we are in Action Comics land with Action Comics number 2 and Action Comics number 10. Each has only 43 copies on Census. Action Comics number 10 is Superman's 3rd cover appearance, and I love that cover. It's extremely dynamic with Superman punching that plane right in the propeller. Some people consider this to be the first issue in which Superman flies. It certainly looks like he's flying on the cover. However, this is debatable, and people argue about which is the first issue that Superman actually flies. And I've provided a bunch of links if you want to explore that debate even further. Although Action 2 doesn't feature Superman on the cover, it is his second appearance because there is a Superman story in the book. Further, the cover is actually amazing. It's by Lee Amelia, and it has these two people parachuting out of a plane that's going down. It's one of my favorites, and I hope to get a copy one day. With only 40 copies on the Census, the next book is my favorite among all Golden Age books, and I'm talking about Suspense Comics number 3. Nevertheless, this book may be the least familiar out of the top 10 that we're going to talk about. This book is known for one thing, and that's the cover. Here's the context. It's 1944. The artist is being asked to make our war enemies look as evil as possible. So he crosses the KKK and Nazis, puts them together, and there you go. So Alex, mission accomplished. The third rarest book is also one of my favorites. We're talking about Adventure Comics number 40, which only has 37 copies. This is the first appearance of Golden Age Sandman. What a character and what an outfit. I don't know about you, but if my signature accessory was a gas mask, I'd probably be wearing army fatigues around it. Not the Sandman, however. He wears a bespoke double-breasted suit with an olive tie and a handkerchief folded just so. He's got a top hat and Oxfords, and get this, he's wearing spats. He's probably the only character in history, real or fictional, who's wearing spats with a gas mask. Number 2 is the last action book on this list, thank God, and it's Action Comics number 3. These early actions are so tough, and this one only has 35 copies on CGC Census. And if you dig a little deeper, the numbers even look tougher. The highest graded book on Census is a 7.0, and over half of those 35 books are qualified or restored. So getting a universal copy of Action Comics 3 that's in high grade, well, good luck. There's like 2 of them. At number 1, we have Pep Comics number 22 that features the Shield on this WW2 cover. The Shield's an interesting character. And in fact, on the Shield's breastplate, this is what's used to inspire Captain America's first shield. But I digress. Why this book is valuable is not because of the shield. It's because of who is inside. It's the first appearance of Archie. And Pep 22 only has 31 copies on Census. Now, if you think that Pep Comics number 22 is rare, it's the only book that cracks the top 10 list when you're looking across all 100 Golden Age valuable books. So if you want to find out more about that incredibly tough list, check out this video. Thanks so much for watching. Consider subscribing and hope to see you around real soon.